Well, we've got just better than 24 hours left to go in the regular season of the Atlantic Coast Conference, and we welcome you to PNC Arena in Raleigh. Second meeting of the year. The other one was December 7th. NC State and Wake Forest. And the Wolfpack has plenty on the line. With Paul Biancardi, West Durham, we welcome you courtside to tonight's ball game. George Allen, the old Redskins coach, said the future is now. Well, for Kevin Keats, the future is now.
Yeah, hopes of the NCAA bid still alive for the Wolfpack. They cannot afford to have a slip up tonight. Wake Forest with some recent impressive wins.
Well, and as goes the pack, so goes Markel Johnson, seemingly, Paul.
They need all of him tonight, Wes. When he plays well, NC State plays at a higher level. He's the engine that runs the car.
Yep, of course, one of the best assist guys in the ACC. #1 overall, #5 in steals, and averaging 13 points a game is Johnson. You saw the details on where the Wolfpack stands, kind of in the top 50. Joe Lunardi's got him at the bottom of the first 4 out as play begins tonight. But as we found out in the last week, a lot can change when it comes to who's in and who's out a week from Sunday.
Joe Lunardi told me this morning, NC State needs 2 wins to be in the conversation. 3 wins, and they're in.
Danny Dixon, the grad transfer from Missouri, Kansas City, and Olivier Sarr get us going. Ron Gruber, Jeff Pond, Ted Valentine on the whistle. NC State won 91-82 3 months ago today at the Joel Coliseum. Sean D. Brown, Brandon Childress on the cut. Here's Brown with the right hand. And Johnson could not control the rebound in front of Sarr. It'll stay with the Deacons.
Big key tonight for the Wolfpack. They have to defend without putting Wake Forest to the free throw line. Demon Deacons, top 10 in the nation at going to the line, 24 attempts.
And Wake Forest, one of the better free throw shooting teams in ACC play. They're 5th at 74.5%. There's a lob for Sarr. It got deflected around. He couldn't control it. And the starting lineups are brought to you by Discount Tire. You see that Kevin Keats takes the nod to the grad transfers. Dixon and Andre, the 2 seniors, Bryce and Johnson, join Devin Daniels. Here is Pat Andre, who played at Lehigh and has spent 1 season here in Raleigh. Bryce, the senior. And the rebound for Sarr.
And for NC State, they got to get some shots up early in this game. Try to get some threes cooking. Wake Forest has to defend the 3-point shot better. Great look inside.
There's a look at the Deacon lineup, and it's brought to you as well by Discount Tire, as Wake Forest has taken a 2-0 lead on Olivier Sarr's basket.
You can see the Demon Deacons, the plan. Attack the paint, hit the roll, paint touches, paint points, and get to the free throw line. It's been that way all season long.
Dixon floods the lane, gets a good pass and a score for Danny Dixon. Just his 7th field goal of the year.
Experience in the middle of the zone. He caught it. Dixon knew right where to go. A lot of guys catch that ball in the middle. They get a little nervous. Dixon looked calm.
Especially on senior night, right? Here's Jacoby Heath. Sarr the dunk. Olivier Sarr's got a 4-2 lead on Wake Forest ball.
For NC State, you're going to be in ball screens defensively all game long. Childress and Sarr. You have to stay true to your plan. If you get beat on the ball screen, you got to get help from the weak side, or you're going to get dunked on just like that.
Daniels picked up on the dribble. Here's Johnson trying to find an alley. Could not against Childress. That's a really good matchup, I think, here tonight.
Yeah, 2 of the better playmaking guards in the ACC. Brandon Childress, Markel Johnson.
Here is Childress off the Brown rebound in the corner. Needs the triple. Left it on the rim. Here's Bryson State the other way. Daniels, little crossover, and the basket. Neath will be tagged for the basket interference. Devin Daniels ties the ball game.
Wake Forest looking to go inside early. Little ball screen and roll on the empty side. That means there's no help. Olivier Sarr right to the basket. How about the penetration? Then they find Sarr at the dunk spot. Porous defense by the Wolfpack.
4-4, we played 2.5. NC State has gotten Funderburk into the lineup to spell Dixon. Sarr muscling against Bryce has all 6 Wake Forest points.
Sarr really likes to catch it low, mid-post, face up. He's got a beautiful touch for a 7-footer.
Young man from France, from Toulouse in Occitanie province. There's a lob for Funderburk offline. Here's Childress leading the Deacons in transition. No look to Neath, and he's fouled. Going to the basket. Free throws coming for Wake Forest. The foul will be on C.J. Bryce. Danny Manning, year number 6 in Winston-Salem. Been a bit of a bumpy ride, but Paul, they showed some bright spots here. Winning 3 of 4, including wins over Duke and Notre Dame in impressive fashion at home.
And Danny Manning told me this morning at shoot-around, the energy's positive with the team. They all like each other. They get along. We have great chemistry. He felt great about going into tonight's game. Even though they had that loss against North Carolina, he said, you know, UNC came into that game not shooting well from 3, but they shot well against us.
Sure did. How about Danny Manning's list here? One of 6 guys in Division I major college basketball who were former top 5 picks. Pretty strong group right there if you get those guys go up and down the floor.
Yeah, those guys should play in the tournament in the summer. Just make themselves a team. Get a chance for $2 million.
Yeah, well,
I'll coach them. I'll coach them, Wes.
I bet you would. Wouldn't be a lot. You just sub guys in and out, wouldn't you?
That's an easy sub.
Yeah, it is. 7-4. Jericho Helms is on the lineup for the first time as well for State. Here's Johnson, a 3 to tie for Markel Johnson.
You see, Markel Johnson can make contested shots, and Sean D. Brown had the hand up. Markel Johnson has that type of game where it really doesn't matter who's on him or who's in front of him. Last time these two teams played, NC State buried 12 threes.
Brown for Isaiah Mucius. And he'll hit the fall away.
I think that's a big, big key for Wake Forest. Defending the 3 ball against NC State. Not just the fact that they got 12 last time, but you're on the road. It's senior night. You want to keep that crowd quiet. Best way to do that, don't let the ball get in the basket.
Big spin by Thunderberg. It's spun out, though.
Every time there's a miss, no noise from the crowd.
Here's Sarr for Jacoby Neath. Back for Sarr from Childress. Look at the turnaround with the right hand. Olivier Sarr has got 8 of Wake's 10, and he's 4 for 4.
First one right block, turnaround. Second one left block. Skilled over each shoulder.
Johnson, a 3. Out front, Markel's banged home another one.
Why not make another contested 3? This time against the 7-footer. My goodness.
Pretty fast start here in the opening 5. There's Childress on the scoop. Johnson, a pull-up 3. Almost a heat check, Coach.
It's early in the game, Wes. He's got the neon green light.
Yep. 1-point game, 5 minutes gone first half. Neath all the way to the basket in the layup for Jacoby Neath.
Kevin Keats is going to talk about ball screen defense. Thunderberg tried to string it out, but Bryce never got over.
Offensive foul on Bryce. He shoved Childress. Second on C.J. Bryce on senior night. Second on the Wolfpack. We'll take a break. You might be looking at the most improved player in the ACC. The junior from France, Olivier Sarr. Back after this. ACC Network Basketball is brought to you by Farm Ridge. Are you hungry? Grab a snack. Well, Olivier Sarr is the leading candidate, or one of the leading candidates. I got to be careful so close to the deadline of the awards ballot for the most improved player in the ACC, Paul.
When he came to NC State, he was, to Wake Forest, 215 pounds. Now he's 255. You can't be physical with him anymore. Developed a low post game, back to the basket, face up. He's got counters.
Yeah.
He's got a great touch, a good work ethic, and does a great job inside of just maintaining and making contact for that low post touch.
You can see the improvement, and it's marked this year from last year, both rebounding and in scoring. With a turnover by Wake Forest out of the Bryce offensive foul, and Braxton Beverly bangs the 3. 45th 3 of the year for the junior from Kentucky.
That's why Kevin Keats recruited that young man, Braxton Beverly. Was going to Ohio State, that model left. Came to NC State. They won his 3-point shot. They got it.
Odioguama from Raleigh back home playing tonight. Missed the jump hook over the top of Thunderberg. So Funderburk, Johnson, Beverly, Daniels on the floor, and Funderburk had to reach back and guide that one into the hoop.
He had a career game in the game that I called against Appalachian State. Really looks smooth on the offensive end. We know he gives defense and rebounding, but when he can give points, the Wolfpack gets tougher.
First lead of the night for the Pack. Mucius on the drive, too strong, and Funderburk collects.
Looked like a pro volleyball game there. Some athletes on the floor. Funderburk, Mucius.
Beverly squaring for 2 off the high dribble. 5 in a row for Braxton Beverly. All of a sudden, NC State's got a little steam in their stride out of the timeout.
Now you play Beverly for the three-point shot, but he's got that touch inside. He's small, but he can see.
Andrian White wearing number 13 for Wake Forest on the floor. There's Mucius, a strong shot. Back rim rebound for Johnson. Here's Beverly. Good heavens, catch and shoot. That is 8 in a row for Braxton Beverly and a 10-0 run for the Pack, who leads by 7 in Raleigh. 7-point lead for the Wolfpack. It's a 10-0 run for Kevin Keats' team. And Paul, Braxton Beverly's fielding it here.
Well, they're coming in just a simple ball screen. That's a pull-up mid-range. But 70% of Beverly shots come from distance. How about the give up by Johnson? Beverly in transition. He had 5, that made 8. Confidence.
No question.
Travels. The funny thing about confidence is you know when you have it, and you know when you don't.
Yep.
But you just can't describe it.
Childress trying to drive Andre. Here's Andrian White attacking. Brandon Childress, a quick catch and shoot. Spins out. Masood there for Wake, but Daniels the closer guy.
State doing a really solid job on the defensive glass. Wake's been one and done. And that gets their transition game going. That gets their fast break.
And Funderburk will draw the foul. Ted Valentine from underneath. And it's going to be on Ismail Masood, 6'8", and a freshman from East Harlem, New York. And the first foul of the night on the Deacons. Wake fans will breathe a sigh of relief there because Olivier Sarr has a propensity to get some early foul trouble.
He really does. He's got to learn how to continue to play and not get those cheap ones, the ones that put you on the bench for no reason.
Helms for Funderburk, who lost it. Up strong on Sarr and stripped of it by Sharon Wright.
Sarr did a great job that time, Wes, just walling up, standing up, hands straight up.
Wright feeds Sarr for the dunk. 10 for Olivier Sarr, and I don't think he's wandered beyond 7 feet.
Well, the Deacons are doing a great job penetration. Once they get in the paint, State has to help. The help comes from underneath. When you help up, offense drops it down.
Daniels, pull up, got it. Devin Daniels, second field goal.
We talk about X factors all the time. I think Daniels is a big-time X factor for NC State. Third guard on that wheel between C.J. Bryce and Markel Johnson. He just plays in attack mode all the time, and NC State needs that, especially when they go in droughts.
Beverly back for Helms. He'll fire. Side rim miss for Sarr's rebound. 7-point lead. We've played fast 9 minutes here, haven't we?
And Kevin Keats wants to play fast. Not as deep right now with the roster. Not pressing like in years past, but he wants this game to go up and down without the whistle.
Yep. First basket for Brandon Childress, who had his senior night last week against Notre Dame in a win at the Joel Coliseum.
And Danny Manning trying to slow the pace down a little bit with that matchup zone.
Funderburk, nice spin on Sarr for the basket for DJ Funderburk, who has 4.
His footwork, 0 in the white, has been outstanding this season. The ability to catch, locate, and spin off his man.
Trying to help now off the screen. Halfway home in the first half, and already 41 points between these two teams. Masood ran right into trouble on the baseline. Beverly left open. 3 threes for Braxton Beverly.
Wes, that's a shoot-around three.
Yes,
a shoot-around three means there's nobody covering you. There's no defense.
Foul on Daniels. That'll be his first. Third on the Wolfpack. State is 5 for 8 from behind the line, and Braxton Beverly looks like he's in his driveway. 9:32 to go here in the first half.
Not sure what the defense was doing, but you can't leave that guy red hot. Braxton Beverly.
Ball game's moving up and down the floor with 9.5 to go. 10-point lead for NC State. Shawnee Brown, Brandon Childress, Olivier Sarr, Ismail Massoud, and Andrian White on the floor for the Deacons. There's Sarr with the catch, and Beverly stripped him, and Dixon saved it to Johnson.
State got lucky on that one, Wes. No rotation again on that ball screen. They were late this time. He's never late with the 3 ball.
14 for Beverly. And 4 threes.
Two of them have come in transition, so you got to find him early when the ball comes up the floor. You can't run to the paint. You better run to the line.
Here we go. Markel Johnson does not have numbers. Look who's coming to get it. 10. Now he wants a screen from Dixon. 13-point lead for the Wolfpack. Nice pass for Dixon. Johnson made that look easy, Paul.
Yeah, Markel Johnson just operates so well with the ball in his hands. The craftiness, the change of pace. Waits for the defense to relax. Threads the needle. Number 1 in the ACC in assist.
Massoud. Back rim miss on the 3. Dixon the rebound. Markel with 6 assists, looking for 7. State's got confidence now, Paul, in a big way, and Brown just dribbled it off his leg and out of bounds. We'll get a break in the action. Braxton Beverly. It's not junior night, Braxton, it's senior night.
And it's deep night.
Well, we told you at the top, the time is now for Kevin Keats and NC State. And you said Joe Lunardi talked about any combination of 3, including tonight. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out, but they're off to a really good start with a 15-point lead here, and they're on a massive run, 19-4.
And Joe said 2 wins, whether it's 1 tonight and 1 in the tournament or 2 in the tournament. It keeps them in the conversation. 3, and they'll pop the bubble. They got 4 quad 1 wins.
That's 5, and they got 1 taken away when the team moved out. There's Beverly, another 2-point goal. He's got 16.
Last year for NC State, they only had 2 quad 1 wins, but of course the ACC was better last year.
Yeah. And
I think the league as a whole has probably hurt NC State a little bit this year, not being as powerful as it was last year.
A look at Beverly inside the arc here, Paul.
Well, they're pressing up on him, and they left a big gap to the basket. Braxton Beverly played his high school ball at Hargrave Military Academy. Ray W. Hamilton is now the head coach at Eastern Kentucky.
3 ball from Childress. He has 5. He and Sarr have got 15 of Wake's 20 here in the first half.
Childress has done a really good job over the years of learning when to score, when to give it up, get his teammates involved. I think his leadership has really grown over time.
Here's Beverly, under 7 to go now in the first half, a 14-point game. Dixon rolls the other way against Brown, and Danny Dixon's got 6.
Well, 6. Usually comes off the bench. Just a glue guy, good backup for Funderburk and Bates.
Season high for Danny Dixon. He had 4 on opening night in early November against Georgia Tech.
And he plays hard and physical.
Mucius a scoop. Recovered Neath. Tried to bounce it through traffic, scramble out of there. Andre with it.
And Danny Dixon got the deflection to Andre.
Johnson tried to maybe put one on the highlight reel there. NC State turns it over. Here comes DJ Funderburk and Jericho Helms.
Here's the push by Markel Johnson. A little too quick, too fast. Beverly saying, my bad. Keats is saying, that's all right, shoot the next one.
Yeah, right. Sarr the catch. And out of there with it comes Johnson again. Lob for Daniels, who tried to push it in and draws the foul. And out from underneath. The foul will be ticketed to Jacoby Neath. It'll be the first on the freshman from Toronto, second on Wake Forest. Devin Daniels at the line. He's 69%. First one good. Don't forget Sunday night right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. The ACC Wrestling Championship from the Peterson Event Center in Pittsburgh. Coverage of the finals with Sean Kinney and Rock Harrison starts at 7. Pat Papalizio and NC State are the defending champs. It's one of your guys being Cardi.
Paisan.
They've won the title 16 times and are trying to go back-to-back in Pittsburgh this weekend.
Go Wolfpack.
I knew the minute you heard the last name, you'd be a fan favorite. 3 balls from Brown. Bangs away.
A lot of Paisans here in Raleigh.
Backdoor to catch. Thunderberg. Oh, had it deflected. Musius. Here's Wake trying to get an easy one. Childress, some nice feed. Sarr the catch. And now Brandon from the corner for a 3 for Brandon Childress. 8 for Childress.
Love the way Brandon Childress gave it up, relocated. His teammate found him.
By the way, with 5 minutes to go, it is of note that we have not seen the ACC's leading shot blocker, Manny Bates, here tonight. He's in warm-ups on the NC State bench. Helms misses the 3 from out front, and we've gotten word from that Kevin Keats will update it after the ball game. 3 ball from the left by Childress is good. 6 in a row, and a Kevin Keats timeout as the senior Brandon Childress trying to drive the Deacons back in the ball game, now trailing 12.
Childress can beat you with his assist game or his 3-point shot. He's a highly competitive kid.
By the way, the Bates scenario takes the best shot blocker in the ACC off the floor tonight, as you see Wake get a kick out 3 here.
I love the way Childress gave it up, relocated, got it back. Now his teammates find him. As soon as the guy makes a 3, Wes, look for him again. He's hot, he's feeling it. Brandon Childress can take over this game.
Don't forget nothing but net. It's a busy group. We got a crowd in Greensboro. Kelsey Riggs, Kelly Gramlich, Elena Beard, Monica McNutt standing by 10 o'clock tonight. They'll update you on the ACC women's basketball tournament in their quarterfinal Friday with highlights and also a look ahead to tomorrow's semifinals you can see on ESPNU. And then a preview tomorrow, and then they'll go to Chapel Hill where Dowling Cuff and Luke Hancock and Carlos Boozer will join Kelsey Riggs following Duke Carolina tomorrow night, 8 o'clock here on ACC Network.
There's another trifecta who could play in the tournament in the summer. Huh? Cuff, Boozer, Hancock. I'll coach those guys too.
You want Elena Beard while you're at it too?
Sure.
Yeah, she could go. Kelly Gramlich shoot 3s for you. You'd have squad before you walk out of the building tonight, wouldn't you? 6 for Thunderberg.
You don't get fired for coaching in the tournament.
No, you don't.
Not in the summertime anyway.
No, you get bonuses, don't you? Get asked back. 14-point lead, under 4 to go. Wolfpack went on a run here, just a blitz from behind the 3-point line, fueled by Beverly. Childress misses the triple, and Johnson going to stay out of the numbers game.
Now, if you remember against Duke, you know, NC State in the last 3 or 4 minutes gave up their lead.
We'll see what happens. 14-point the advantage now. 40-26 Wolfpack. ACC Network Basketball is brought to you by Discount Tire. Let's get you taken care of. 1983, the pit in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And the guy in the painter's cap with Jimmy V is DeMatha product Garrett Whittenberg. Oh, wait a second. There he is, Paul. And you won't believe what he made us do before the game tonight.
Right? You just have to look on Twitter to find it.
Unbelievable. Wittenberg talked us into something again.
Had a chance to coach against Derek Wittenberg when I was at St. Louis University. He was the head coach at Fordham.
Great guy. One of the real ambassadors of not only NC State basketball, but ACC basketball. And the work he's done on the board for the V Foundation, second to none. Andre missed the three from the corner.
Yeah, Witt puts his heart and soul into it.
Yep, sure does.
And when Jimmy V was running around looking to hug someone, he said he was looking to hug somebody, his father.
Yeah.
I remember running around my house trying to hug my mother and father that day. They said, what happened? I said, NC State won the national championship. I'm just doing what the coach did, Mom. He's Italian.
Yep. Pretty big 3 minutes here for Danny Manning's team as Neath cuts one loose and hits. Jacoby Neath, 12th three of the year. He's got 6 in the first half.
Yeah, Neath has played really well the last 5 games. 10 points a game, 4 assists per game. Strong looking freshman.
Yep. Had a 10-4 night in Chapel Hill, but did have 6 turnovers against the Tar Heels, and they lost to Carolina by 10 the other night. 10 to shoot. They tried the entry to Thunderbird, batted away Musius.
And that was the matchup zone again. They changed it on the timeout.
Neath missed the driving shot. Wake coming the other way. Johnson changing gears. Sarr batted the entry pass for Thunderbird away.
Yeah, that's a lazy pass by Markel Johnson. Just that little floater from the top. You want to get that ball into the paint, Wes, 2 dribbles, and then punch it inside. You don't throw it into the paint or to the post from the top. See, he gets casual at times, and I think that frustrates Kevin Keats and the staff. Sometimes I think he gets casual. He tries to make the home run play. As he stays as a decision maker versus a risk taker, I think his game elevates.
He's looking for a screen, and Thunderbird. Beverly, did he get tripped by Brown? Ron Groover says yes. First on the junior Brown from Orlando, 4 on Wake Forest.
But I love his craftiness, Markel Johnson. That time he threw it to Braxton Beverly because the big man was going to slip Thunderbird to the basket. He reads the play before it happens.
Johnson to trigger the inbound. Markel cuts loose a 3. Just ahead of 2 minutes to go. Wake trails 11.
They're not getting to the free throw line. Still 1 for 2. They average 24 attempts per game.
Sarr, 3 white shirts around. Back to Neath.
Nice by Thunderbird.
Yep.
Did not foul and protected the rim. Outstanding. That's post defense at its best.
How about Johnson? Almost came to a complete stop. He's got 8 now in the first half to go with a pocket full of assists. Half dozen of them.
Excuse me, Wes. When Johnson comes over half court, you have to put your body in front of his and keep him out of the paint. He lives there.
Here's the steal. Beverly. Back for Helms. Deflected. Oh, wow. Look at Andre. Boy, NC State tried to double down there. Got 2 deflections and figure why not? Let's see if we'll knock a 3 down.
You like the unselfishness by the Wolfpack. And they are really in sync tonight. Not so much defensively, but offensively without question. Markel Johnson comes off that ball screen. Love the hesitation. All eyes on him. They freeze. He takes the step through. I mean, he can get the defense to just look at him, stand up, relax, and then he picks you apart with the drive or the assist.
Neath all the way through and will draw the contact, and it's Helms, sophomore from St. Louis, his first 5 now on NC State. And here comes free throws 3 and 4, and they belong to Jacoby Neath.
And Jericho Helms, he gambled on that. He went for the steal, didn't get it. And Jacoby Neath did the right thing, took it right to the basket. Broad shoulders, strong body.
Free throw bounds away. Don't forget, nothing but net. We'll be at the ACC Women's Tournament tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. to preview the semis. And then tomorrow night, following Duke, Carolina, it'll be 8 o'clock. Following the game, and then later tonight, you get Bald Men on Campus, which follows our coverage here from Raleigh. Jay, LaFonso, and Seth are at Dayton for ESPN's College Game Day tomorrow?
One show I hope I never get a chance to go on.
I think you're in great shape not to be asked. I think you're in great shape. Markel Johnson out front against Brown, 15 to shoot.
See Wake Forest now putting Sean D. Brown on Johnson, bigger, stronger. What a pass!
Pass for Thunderbird. 7 assists for Markel Johnson, and that might have been the best one.
Never gives up on the play. Markel Johnson plays the game with his head up. His eyes are always reading the floor. Outstanding assist.
8 seconds to go, and Childress trying to make something happen, going to the locker room. Jab step on Daniels, fall away at the foul line. Bottom of the basket for Brandon Childress, who finishes with 13. He and Sard have 23 of Wake's 31. It's not enough to catch Braxton Beverly and Markel Johnson in this first half, Paul.
Markel Johnson is the key for NC State. He's been outstanding in the first half with his assist game, scoring buckets, and Braxton Beverly. He wants to have a long-range party in Raleigh tonight.
44-31 is our halftime score. And it's been a bunch of stuff from behind the line. And then Markel Johnson with 7 assists. Stay tuned. ACC Network halftime right after this. Welcome back. Halftime continues at PNC Arena in Raleigh on ACC Network on this second to last day of the regular season. And as we welcome you back, Paul, we spend time always, I think, talking about what lies ahead for these teams. And sometimes it gets tricky. But with a young ACC as a whole, I think a lot of people are excited about 2020 and 2021 next year.
Well, they should, because the recruiting for the ACC has upgraded next year. Don't forget, last year they lost 13 guys to the NBA drafts, so they're ready to replace that talent next year.
Well, and we're going to spotlight guys maybe who will have an impact right away with their respective schools.
I think you have to start at the top. For Florida State, it's Scotty Barnes. He reminds me of Draymond Green. Tough, athletic, versatility, and he is a true alpha dog. He will be an impact player for Leonard Hamilton. Jeremy Roach will replace Trey Jones at the point, and he'll give the Blue Devils a lot of speed and transition basketball. Go down to Clemson. P.J. Hall, the big man, skilled, back to the basket, big, little old school, little new school. I think he's going to be fantastic. And for NC State, Josh Hall, he's a stud. 6'9", skilled with loaded with versatility. And Reese Beekman will help the backcourt for Virginia next season. They need help on the perimeter. Reese Beekman's the guy.
All right, now when we talk about individuals helping certain schools, we always hear about great classes. And despite a tough year in Chapel Hill, a lot's been made about what Carolina has coming to next year.
When you think about North Carolina this year, what's the biggest nemesis? It's the three-point shooting. They don't make a lot of threes, and they don't shoot it at a good percentage. This class will answer that question. Out of the 5 recruits, 3 can really stroke the ball. 4 are McDonald's All-Americans. And you know, Wes, that's important.
Yep.
But when you talk about shooting the ball, Walker Kessler, a big man, 7-footer. That's what he does best. He shoots the ball. Caleb Love, a scoring point guard, makes threes. He'll run the point in case Cole Anthony decides to leave. The guy you have to know is R.J. Davis. He's small. He's got a point guard's body, but a 2-guard shooter, deep range and accuracy. And Donovan Puff Johnson, the younger brother of Cam Johnson, 6'5" lefty, can really stroke it. I didn't mention Day'Ron Sharp because he does his work in the paint. This class addresses all the needs for North Carolina next season.
All right, that's a look at where the Tar Heels and where the ACC stands heading into 2020 and 2021. We got more coming up. Halftime here in Raleigh continues right after you see this. Well, NC State 44, Wake Forest 31 as we're in the final 24 hours of the regular season of ACC basketball. Great to be with Paul Biancardi on a Friday night, and we get the second edition of Carolina Duke tomorrow night at Cameron, 6 o'clock start over on ESPN. And If the first game's any indication, we're in for a heck of a show, it looks like.
What a wild ending in that game. I'm going to give you a coaching cliche, but it's true. Throw out the records in this game because UNC brought the fight to Duke last time, and Duke responded. Carolina just left off too many points at the free throw line. They missed 17 free throws. That was the big difference in that game.
Well, you look at that, and it ties into kind of where the series goes as well. And you know, the stars always come out in this, and Wendell Moore made a name for himself. Obviously, Trey Jones, the missed free throw that was recovered in the shot that got the game to overtime. The game always delivers, Coach. It's amazing.
And we have big-time tandems in this game. You got Cole Anthony, Garrison Brooks. You got Trey Jones, Vernon Carey. But to me, there's some X factors in this game. And for Duke, it's Cassius Stanley. Duke needs his scoring ability, his aggressiveness. Regardless, make or miss, he's got to stay strong on the attack all game long to help those guys out. And for UNC, it's Brandon Robinson. He made 5 threes against Wake Forest. Carolina only averages 5.5 threes a game. They need his outside shot, and they need his experience in this big game.
Tell you something else, too. Robinson, Anthony, and Brooks take the floor in an ACC game together for just the 7th time tomorrow night.
And if they all can play their A game, they can keep it close.
Well, how about a look at the ACC standings? Only one other ball game tonight. Georgia Tech leading Clemson down at Littlejohn Coliseum. A win by the Jackets would close their season. It would also assure them of just their 3rd winning record since 1995 in ACC play. NC State can finish anywhere between 5th and 8th at the end of the night. Wake Forest, by virtue of the way their season's gone, they're playing Tuesday in Greensboro. What seed? Well, that's like the rest of them. Because really the only team holding their destiny here, Paul, is Florida State, because if the Noles win tomorrow against BC in Tallahassee, while Louisville may tie them for the regular season, Florida State swept them. They'll be the top seed in Greensboro.
And Florida State got that huge win at Notre Dame the other night. They were down most of the game. They come back. They closed it strong. Virginia secured that 4th spot. So right now, it's everything else is wide open in the ACC.
Well, then we kind of expected it, right? 20 games in the schedule. It's been a wild ride already through conference play. Sit tight. We've had plenty of highlights. We'll recap it, get you ready for half number 2 in Raleigh after this. Second half from Raleigh here on ACC Network. NC State 44, Wake Forest 31. We could give you a lot of stats and show you a lot of analytics and things like that, but when shooters shoot, that's more fun, isn't it, Paul?
More fun for Kevin Keats tonight.
Yeah, right. Well, here's the stakes for NC State, because you see they're right around 50 BPI, strength of schedule just above 40. Joe Lunardi's got them first 4 out. Key wins, the resume, things of that nature. Bottom line is winning. And that's what they've been doing tonight so far, mainly behind Braxton Beverly.
Braxton Beverly came into the game the 16:50 mark. Wake Forest was up 7-4. He broke this game wide open with the 3-point shot, mixed in a pull-up jumper. Then he started to really get hot from the outside. He was knocking him down in the half-court set. Wake, for some reason, just left him alone. That was a shoot-around 3. Beverly failing it. It's been a long-range 3-point shooting party tonight for Braxton Beverly. 6 for 6 from the field, 4 for 4 from distance.
Well, NC State has lost 3 of their last 4, including the 19-point decision at Duke the other night. Wake Forest has won 2 of their last 3, but lost by 10 in Chapel Hill on Tuesday night. So both these schools kind of find themselves in a scenario where, you know, Wake wants to keep building that late season momentum. NC State wants to keep their postseason alive.
Yeah, Wake Forest has to get to the free throw line. That's how they win games. They didn't do that in the first half. NC State, don't fall in love with that 3-point shot now. You can like it, but don't love it. You want to attack inside and continue to score.
Jericho Helms fights up through traffic. Had it banged out of there, and here come the Deacons on their first offensive chance. Childress trying to wind through. Now Mucius goes baseline. Jeff Pond's got a foul, and it will be on the Wolfpack. And it is on Jericho Helms.
The State came out a little sluggish in the first couple of minutes. I thought Wake Forest took it to them. They got some pain points.
Right.
Olivier Sarr was outstanding. And then he didn't do much in the second 10 minutes of the first half. Got to get him involved. Got to get him touches.
Childress, Mucius. Here is Sarr. Good call, Paul. Right hand jump hook. fell off the front rim.
High percentage shot. That's what you want. Keep feeding that big guy, especially if Funderburk is going to stay behind.
First miss of the night for Sarr. Daniels a three. And tap follow no good by Bryce, who now scores. First points on senior night for C.J. Bryce.
We were talking about that at halftime. Where was C.J. Bryce? Good offensive rebounding guard. He gets them points. Second chance points. Oh, it is a mismatch. He's got to take them.
Musius trying to square on Helms. Now backs him down. And the fall away in the lane. Good for Isaiah Musius. Sophomore Brookhaven, New York has got his second field goal.
He's a stretch four. Likes the post game, likes the three-point shot, but he's long and bouncy.
Funderburk the catch, up strong, and a foul. Either Sarr or Musius, and it's Isaiah Musius. His first on Wake Forest. And DJ Funderburk, who, well, big fella, shoots it pretty well. 11th best free throw shooter in the ACC.
I like the way State is looking for Funderburk. You know, they were patient. They got it to the wing. He set the ball screen. He's a roll guy. Goes right to the rim. He's easy to find at 6'11".
We told you at the half, NC State's got some help coming in the recruiting. This could be one of the better senior post guys in the ACC, let alone maybe the country next year, in DJ Funderburk.
Yeah, they're going to bring in Josh Hall, a 6'9" wing who's uber talented, and a point guard by the name of Cam Hayes, right out of North Carolina, to replace Markel Johnson at the point. So they bring in a point and a wing. You got Funderburk inside. The roster looks strong for NC State next year.
Sure does. There's Neef on the drive, and Jacoby Neef with 8.
Don't forget Manny Bates.
Yeah, Manny Bates not playing tonight. Shot blocker, redshirt freshman, the ACC's best in rejections. He sat on the bench all night. The word we've got is Kevin Keats will update his status after the ball game. There's Johnson, a 3. And the lead down to 12, 2 minutes in here in the second half. Offensive foul. No, a block is called on Jericho Helms, and that's his 3rd. So Helms, who's had a few bouts with foul trouble here in the last couple of weeks, finds himself with 3 on 2 quick whistles early in the half, and Braxton Beverly is summoned from the depths of the NC State bench, where he doesn't sit down much because of some back issues. He tends to stand off at the end of the bench for Kevin Keats. Well, in the first half, he was trotting up and down the floor, knocking down shots. And he gets Helm's spot.
He can have a bad back all he wants if he shoots like that.
Sarr too strong with the right hand. They're finding number 10 now. Bryce wide open. And Daniels the rebound. Johnson. Lob, Funderburk fouled. What do you see there? Because we see that play a lot, and looks like NC State's just missing it.
They're getting into the paint because Wake Forest, they're not playing with that same intensity defensively they did in the first 5 minutes to start the game. Just a simple drive and simple lob. Funderburk's got to catch it. Sometimes you got to catch it when it's up there and finish it before you come down. Now at 6'11", you should be able to do that. If it's me and you, it could never happen.
No.
See, that pass wasn't in the right spot. Markel Johnson put that a little too low. That's why he went over to give Funderburk a little slap. He's got to throw that as high as possible. Funderburk gets it, or it goes out of bounds.
3 quick ones. 2 quick ones, 3 total on Jacoby Neef, and he's out. And Sharon Wright Jr. into the ball game to spell the freshman from Toronto, Neef. Here is Funderburk. 3 minutes gone, second half. NC State leads this series 145 to 106 as Johnson tees off on a 3.
Wake was in a matchup zone, and sometimes when you play a matchup, you lose who you're supposed to cover or the area you're supposed to cover. All night, West, that right corner has been wide open for NC State. No communication by the Demon Deacons.
Brandon Childress. Sharon Wright came into the ball game in Chapel Hill the other night, hit a long 2 against the Tar Heels. Shawnee Brown a triple. Air ball, Sarr, the dunk. He's got 12 on 6 field goals.
Sean D. Brown looked a little bit like our man in the stands, Derek Wittenberg. Was it a shot or a pass? Same finish.
There's a lob, and Thunderbird catches and scores there.
See, when you throw it high, the big keeps it high, and then you finish it high. Beautiful pass, great finish. That's the execution that you want if you're Kevin Keats.
DJ Thunderbird with 11 now to go with 5 rebounds and a turnover by Wake Forest in the half court. 9 giveaways by the Deacons. 15-point lead for the Wolfpack.
Wolfpack have moved the ball all game long. The drive to kick, one more. Markel Johnson knocking it down. Stayed up big.
ACC Network basketball brought to you by Zaxby's. Hand-breaded chicken and fresh ingredients made to order only at Zaxby's. 1974. The national championship was down I-85 in Greensboro at the Coliseum, and it went to the Wolfpack. David Thompson, Tom Burleson, Monty Tao, Mo Rivers, Tim Stoddard later pitched in the bigs for the Orioles. They won the regular season, they won the ACC tournament, and they won the national championship.
I remember when all those games were on NBC.
Yeah. Sure were.
Couldn't wait till Saturday or Sunday to watch games. Now you can watch them 7 days a week on multiple channels.
Yep.
But always watch the ACC Network and ESPN.
Sure can. 11 to shoot for Johnson. Out of the timeout, Wolfpack with a 15-point lead. Markel trying to take the big man Sarr to the rack. Thunderbird wasn't ready for the lob. 2 to shoot. Daniels launch. And Mucius the rebound.
Good job attacking the switch, throwing it upstairs. They got a good look. That's all you want to get is a good look. You don't want to get live ball turnovers and empty possessions.
Wright with Mucius, White, Childress, and Olivier Sarr. And that got deflected by Beverly and then knocked out of bounds. And last touch by Brandon Childress.
How about Braxton Beverly? Making threes.
10 turnovers on Wake Forest now. Braxton Beverly doesn't get a book on defense, but he played pretty well there.
You know what happens, Wes? You start making that 3 ball, start to feel good about yourself. You get a little pepper in your stepper, and now you want to deny everybody. It creates such confidence when the shot goes in, and it carries over to the other parts of your game. The key for players is when the shot's not going well, to play well.
Bob and a catch for Thunderbird, and a foul there underneath.
That's what I'm looking at from players in the high school game. When you don't make shots, what else do you do to help your team win?
Right.
And it translates to the college level.
How many times we've seen this look, huh?
Yeah, Thunderbird has him sealed. He's done a great job of developing his body, working in the post, and he's making contact with defenders better. He's maintaining it. I'd like to see him just demand the ball a little bit more. Like just scream for the ball. You're 6'11". If you scream for anything, people are going to listen.
Well, and Kevin Keats said in the preseason he wanted him to be more consistent. Well, he's averaged 13 and 7. Is that about right? I mean, a year ago against the ACC, averaged 9 and 5 and shot 51%.
And he's a legitimate one-on-one low post scorer. I mean, you could get him 15, 20 points a game by feeding him. You just don't want him to be a shot blocker and rebounder. He's developed under Kevin Keats.
12 to shoot. Almost 6 minutes gone. 17-point lead. And that ball got thrown away again. And turnover number 11. And 3 straight on Wake Forest.
And at the bottom of that pile, the hustle man, the 3-point shooter, Braxton Beverly deflects it, dives for it. Kept the Wake Forest player from getting possession.
So here is Johnson with Bryce, Daniels, Thunderbird, and Beverly. And Wake Forest holding on here with 14 minutes to go. Bryce. Pull up at 14 feet, good.
And that's the action Kevin Keats worked on yesterday against the matchup zone. Simple ball screen, big guy rolls, corner guy lifts out, and throw it back, wide open.
Largest lead of the night for the Wolfpack at 19. Sharon Wright. Here's Sarr on the catch. And one on the Thunderbird foul.
This is a great matchup of two of the better bigs in the ACC that may not get as much attention as Vernon Carey or Garrison Brooks. Olivier Sarr, the dribble, the gather, the turn, the balance, and he's shooting that over 6'11". Without question, we talked about it in the first half, one of the most improved players in the ACC. I think you can throw Garrison Brooks on that list. Jay Huff. I know you like James Banks.
Yeah, James Banks has played well this year, certainly. I think Sarr's going to win the award, personally.
He should.
Yeah, I mean, it's really 2-1, and more than one category here is Childress off the NC State giveaway streaking to the basket. 15 for Brandon Childress now.
Wake needs some stops. They're playing the matchup zone. They got to communicate really well to get out on shooters. A lot of holes in that matchup at times. A lot of driving lines, a lot of gaps.
Well, a lot of people talk Monday night about Duke playing the zone, and Kevin Keats said the zone was fine, but we didn't make shots. Tonight they're making shots.
And that zone was a traditional zone. This is a more of a switching man-to-man. A little bit easier to penetrate.
Daniels threw it away, trying to get a highlight play for Johnson. 8 turnovers on the Wolfpack, and you can tell Kevin Keats is, come on, guys, we don't need unforced errors.
Childress in transition. He can beat you in the up-tempo game and in the half-court game. He is a big-time shot taker. We know he's a shot maker. He plays the game with a chip. He's not going to let his team go down without a fight. Too competitive.
Stolen by Beverly. Outlet for Bryce. Now Daniels the hammer. 8 for Daniels.
The first half, Braxton Beverly broke open the game with threes. Second half, he's breaking this game open even more with this D. Denial, deflections. He's been the MVP tonight.
And a hand check on Daniels on the midcourt area will be his second. 4 on the Wolfpack. Well, State's hit it from behind the line, and now they're turning them over.
As soon as they get possession, they're pushing. This one's easy.
A 17-point lead for NC State, 58-41, with Paul Biancardi. West Durham, great to have you with us tonight at PNC Arena in Raleigh on ACC Network. I thought Kevin Keats was pretty candid with us before the ball game, talking about, hey, look, we're going to go play. We're not going to worry about all the outside stuff. He said, you know, players today, they know about all the outside stuff. They're too connected, right? The missed shot by Wake Forest, and the scramble for the board will belong to Shawnee Brown.
You know, Kevin Keats said to us as well, it's like talking to you, it's like a father talking to his kids. You got to know what to say, when to say it, and how to say it.
Right.
And I thought that was a great analogy. Speaking about needing wins to get into the NCAA tournament,
yeah.
As you mentioned, with social media, the internet, and all the people that talk to these kids, they know the deal.
Right.
But for Kevin Keats, it's the message that he sends. And what he said today at shoot-around was, hey, this is a great opportunity. Let's take advantage of it. And he kept it at that.
Yep.
Simple, clean. You don't want your guys overthinking.
Bryce at the foul line. Front rim miss. And Andre couldn't corral it. Here are the Deacons. Maybe an opportunity.
Yeah, they got to get the ball. Childress and Sarr has to be involved in every possession in terms of scoring. There you go. Let him go to work.
Sarr against Dixon. Right hand. Too strong. Andre the rebound.
Well, he faded away that time, Sarr. He had good position, good idea, but lost his balance.
Dixon powering inside.
That's the difference, Wes, between Dixon scoring on Sarr. Just took it strong, put the body into him. And what Sarr did is he turned around, which is fine, last possession, but he faded away. You fade away, you're going to miss.
Drive by Masood.
And every time you fade away, you're not going to get the call.
Johnson off the Dixon screen at the top. Trying to put Jacoby Neath in the blender.
He's just having fun out there, Markel Johnson. If you don't pressure him to give it up, he's going to make you look bad.
He's an assist away from a double-double, too. Childress on the drive, missed it. Bryce out of there with it. Here's Markell. Andre a three. And Dixon's got double figures. 10 for Danny Dixon. His season high was 4 on opening night against Georgia Tech. Came over from UMKC, originally at George Mason. All of a sudden, Danny Dixon's gone out and had a senior night, or a grad night, if you will.
And Braxton Beverly will be the MVP. Danny Dixon, the unsung hero, no question about it, giving some great minutes in the paint.
First points of the night for Shawnee Brown with 9:22 to go. Danny Dixon, double figures for the Wolfpack, who lead by 16. Well, these senior nights, grad nights, if you will, can be curious things sometimes, Paul. Here's Danny Dixon, who had not scored in 3 minutes at Duke the other night, didn't play against Pittsburgh here last weekend, and tonight he's got an NC State high, 10 points. His best game coming in tonight was opening night when DJ Funderburk didn't play, and he had 4 against Georgia Tech.
It's that senior night urgency. You realize it's the last time we're going to play a home game in the regular season. You just bring a different mindset, a different feel to the game. His dad, Jim Dixon, played at Northern Illinois.
Yeah. Turned over by the Wolfpack. Brown had a 3 a moment ago for his first points. 9 minutes to go here in Raleigh. Shawnee Brown, a little hanging jumper on the baseline. He's got 5 in a row.
I'll tell you what about Danny Dixon as well. Without Manny Bates playing tonight, he's been so valuable in this game. Giving Derek Funderburk a spell, but not just giving Funderburk a spell, but producing as well.
Beverly missed the shot. He's still scoreless here in the second half. There's Manny Bates on the bench. And all we've been told is Coach Keats will update his status after the ball game. You see the ACC's leader in shot blocks with 82. And man, as he put a number up. Fouls on Andre, by the way. He's getting more minutes tonight as a result of Bates' absence. 5 on NC State.
And Bates changes the game by protecting the rim.
And they just, it seemed like too, Paul, they had gotten to a point where he and Funderburk were comfortable together for extended minutes.
Kevin Keats likes to play the 2 bigs.
First points from Masood.
But then he can switch down and put Jericho Helms at the 4. Play small, sometimes C.J. Bryce. He's 6'5". Yep. He's got different lineups, Kevin Keats. But no question about it, Bates and Funderburk, 2 outstanding defensive bigs.
Helms. Back for Johnson with 8 to shoot. Here's Beverly, or Helms again, 3 from the left, too strong, missed everything, and Brown's the rebound. Now remember, Sarr's on the bench here in this exchange. Aguama has come in, the young man who played at Ravenscroft here in Raleigh. I beg your pardon, Cardinal Gibbons. Those are fighting words. A 9-0 run by Wake Forest, and the lead down to 10. A basket by Neath a moment ago, and a timeout for Kevin Keats.
I like the timeout.
10 for Jacoby Neath. The lead 10 with 7.5 to play in Raleigh. Ten-point lead for NC State, but the Deacons, who trailed by as many as 19 in this half, Paul, have grinded it back to 10 with 7.5 to go. And I don't know if Danny Manning's got a momentum switch here or not, but Wake may get an opportunity if they can get in a couple more stops, it looks like.
In the last few possessions, Wake Forest has played better defense. They've cleaned up the defensive glass. They're starting to score now with opportunity and pace. But it's all about stops for Wake Forest. If they can make some stops, they have the offense with Childress and Sarr.
12 to shoot for Helms. Bounce pass, Funderburk turns, right-hand score against the Wolfpack.
Now, I like the way the Wolfpack are looking for Derek Funderburk. You know, it's easy to look off the big and move it around, drive and kick it, look for threes. Funderburk's delivered.
Jacoby Neath got away with the walk. Childress rimmed out a 3.
I know Childress has the green light, but that's contested with time on the shot clock. Maybe move it, try to get a more open shot.
And we get a foul. Ted Valentine, the whistle on the baseline. It's on Odie Aguama, freshman from here in Raleigh, who went to prep school at Woodstock Academy in Connecticut a season ago. Bryce will pull up. And the quick outlet deflected by C.J. Bryce. I think that hit Kevin Keats, who technically is out of bounds. And I think Kevin knows it hit him, but he was trying to let Jeff Pond know that he's going to keep playing, right?
And it's Kevin Keats is an easy man to find tonight.
Yeah.
Just look at that suit jacket. That is NC State red.
Yeah, and hit Kevin. Oh, yeah. Go pick it up, C.J. Yeah, like it was still alive. I see what he's selling, don't you? Deep three. Bryce runs it down.
What a job Kevin Keats did. UNC Wilmington.
Sure. C.J. Bryce was one of his guys.
Great
nice
cut.
You liked it, huh?
Yeah. You got to move. Guys stand around, wait for each other, look at each other. Move without the ball.
Bryce bangs the three. He's got 7 in the second half.
See, Daniels made the cut. Defense worried about him. The ball moved to the first side, second side. And Bryce got a good look.
20 to shoot for Neath on the possession. Jacoby squeezes through, and here's Johnson with the run out.
They got 4 on 3.
Yep, skip for Bryce. And here's Markel Johnson with 5.5 to go.
Good decision by C.J. Bryce. 4 on 3, became 4 on 4. He backed it out. Now Johnson can navigate and operate.
Markel, lob, Thunderberg pushed it in. Double-double for Markel Johnson.
He's getting into the paint, Markel Johnson, with little to no resistance. He's got great vision, beautiful touch.
Shawnee Brown spot up. So Johnson now with 10 assists and 11 points in the ball game.
They're setting that ball screen in the middle of the floor, and the big for Wake Forest. Not hedging hard, it's not stringing it out well enough.
Johnson will score it himself there.
Example 1A. He snaked that screen, Wes, and by snake I mean he made a little S curl coming off that screen.
Neath had it blocked by Thunderberg, but Johnson caught it, and he was on the inline out of bounds, so it will stay with Wake Forest.
And Markel Johnson comes off the screen. That's his 10th assist. Big can't come up and help because there's a big guy at the rim. Brandon Childress playing on the side. Too easy.
So here on senior night for the young man from Cleveland.
See, I think you got to trap Markel Johnson at times off that ball screen.
Yeah.
I don't care where it is, middle, side. You got to get the ball out of his hands. You may have to be in rotation, but you got to get the ball out of his hands every once in a while.
Free ball from Brown, good. Shawnee Brown with 10, and all of them have come here in the last 4.5 minutes. 71-57. Wake Forest trying to pick up their 3rd win in 4 games, going to Greensboro to play next Tuesday. NC State will be either anywhere seed from 5 to 8 as Thunderberg shoves it down.
Same action for NC State all game long. Simple little ball screen. Big man rolls, corner man lifts. They have the advantage. They've executed that set so well tonight.
Quick hitter turned over by Musius. Johnson's got Helms with him. He'll push for Bryce. And a foul is called. And there'll be 3 free throws coming for C.J. Bryce on the Brandon Childress foul. Boy, DJ Thunderberg's just had to hang out at the rack tonight, Paul.
DJ Thunderberg, you throw it up high to him. He's a strong finisher.
ACC Network Basketball is brought to you by Discount Tire. Let's get you taken care of. Senior night, grad night here at PNC Arena in Raleigh. Markel Johnson, C.J. Bryce, the seniors. Pat Andre and Danny Dixon are the grads. And everybody's delivered, especially the senior Markel Johnson.
Markel Johnson delivering assist all night long. Thunderberg has been the recipient inside. Danny Dixon with some strong minutes. Tonight, the senior. 10 points, most of them in the paint, but you throw it high to Thunderberg. He is a great lob catcher and finisher.
8 for Bryce, all here in the second half as he goes to the line. 11th double-double of the year for Johnson, who has the ACC's only triple-double, Paul, back on December 22nd against Citadel. And C.J. Bryce missed the second. He'll have one more coming.
We talk about the 4 seniors for NC State. They have 49 of the 73 points for the Wolfpack.
Third one is good, so 2 of the 3 for Bryce. And Kevin Keats is going to bring Helms and Thunderberg out. Dixon and Andre will check in.
See if Wake has one more burst in them. They have to go hard. They have to go quick.
Whoa, Sarr really reached back. Made a great catch of it, just missed the dunk. And a foul will be called on Andre.
Good aggressiveness by Sarr. Missed it, went to go get it.
Right.
That's what you want to see. 7-footer. All right, I missed it. Now where is it? I got it. I got it. Wake's ball. A lot of guys right there, Wes, would have put their head down. Give up on the play.
Andrian White, line drive 3 strong. 18-point lead against, been as big as 19 tonight for the Wolfpack. Trying to find their 19th win. They would finish the ACC season at level par. Dixon blocked off the window by Sarr.
They trapped Johnson on that, and they got the help. Can they get the bucket?
Brown airballed it. Under 3 to go. Daniels trying to find a seam here, and it's Dixon. Fall away by Bryce is good.
When you're up big, with minutes to go, that bucket looks bigger.
Yeah. 11 for Bryce, all in the second half. The lead is 20, largest of the night. Childress, tough shot. 19 for Childress on his 8th field goal.
Just not enough stops.
No.
For Wake Forest. They
Didn't
really
handle, and you said this earlier, excuse me, did not handle the ball screen well at all tonight.
Not the middle ball screen. They didn't stop the dribble, and they couldn't stop the lob. You got to take one of the 2 away. Then you got to help on the other.
Dixon's got 10. Skips for Bryce's 3. Under 2 to go now. Here's Childress working. Back for Andrian White. 15 to shoot from Mucius. About 90 seconds to go in Raleigh. White will launch and hit. First points for Andrian White. His older brother Andrew White played at Syracuse. And Kevin Keats going to make some changes, and Chase Graham going to appear for a 12th time, and Markel Johnson's going to get a curtain call here.
He's going to get a standing ovation. Well deserved. Markel Johnson.
Bryce and Johnson get the curtain calls. Max Farthing is checked in. And so is Chase Graham. And Pat Andre and Danny Dixon exit as well. Nice night for Danny Dixon.
Yeah, fabulous night. Terrific contribution off the bench. Without Manny Bates tonight, he was ready to go.
Yep.
Very productive. But we talk so much about Markel Johnson and his relevance in terms of NC State playing well. When he plays well, and tonight he played very well, NC State plays at a different level. He just brings other guys with him. Got Braxton Beverly a bunch of shots that he knocked down. They got the ball inside of Funderburk. He was fantastic tonight. He controlled the action from tip to horn.
7th foul on NC State. It'll be the first on the freshman walk-on, Chase Graham, out of Athens Drive here in Raleigh, and it'll send Jacoby Neath to the line. And Jacoby Neath has attempted all but one of Wake Forest free throws tonight.
And that was a big key for Wake Forest to try to get to the line.
Free throw good. Don't forget, Sunday night here on ACC Network, the Wrestling Championships come at you at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. The finals, NC State trying to defend their title a year ago. It's also available on the ESPN app. First one good for Neath on the 1-and-1. Second one good. And with that, Miles Lester from Wichita, and already Blake Buchanan from Durham, North Carolina, has checked in. And we also see Michael Wynn, who is seeing his first action in the last 9 games for Wake Forest.
So if you're Danny Manning, you got to get your team ready for the ACC tournament. Go back and watch the films against Duke, that overtime win. Show them some clips against Notre Dame in that win.
Second 3 in 5 tries this year for Chase Graham. (82-64).
And for NC State, you didn't slip up tonight. You needed this game. You got it.
There's a steal and basket by Graham. Holy smokes.
No such thing as a bad shot or a bad gamble for a walk-on.
Chase Graham is living out his childhood dream right here. He grew up wanting to play for NC State. He passed on some low ones and some D2 offers ball to walk on for Kevin Keats, and all of a sudden his last home game of his freshman year, he's got a 3 and a breakaway.
That smile says it all. Come on now, I was a walk-on. There's no such thing as a bad shot, bad play. And those guys work so hard in practice as a scout team. They push the starters all the time.
Set the clock here. 26 seconds left, so Lester has come in. Van Beveren wearing 52 also on the floor. There's Lester, he's a Rice transfer, goes right at Funderburk. The rebound for Farthing, and Kevin Keats will dribble this out. Farthing wants a crack at it, and that ball got knocked away by Wynn. And time will expire as they chase the loose ball. Kevin Keats and NC State get the victory 84-64 to finish the regular season 19-12, 10-10 in the ACC. Danny Manning's team 13-17, 6-14 in ACC play. Our Zaxby's player of the game, DJ Funderburk, 19 points on 8 of 10 from the floor and 7 rebounds for the junior from Cleveland, Ohio. Pack a winner, 84-64. Great to be with you tonight, Paul Biancardi. A pleasure.
Enjoyed it.
Yep. NC State's off to Greensboro, seated anywhere from 5 to 8. Wake Forest will be in action at the Coliseum on Tuesday. For our producer, Rick Walensik, our wonderful ACC Network crew, Wes Durham, thanks so much for joining us. Stay tuned. Bald Men on Campus follows us next on ACC Network.